Well, our top story here at 8 o'clock this evening, the mystery behind the shocking murder of a Mumbai businessman continues to deepen, with former encounter specialist being arrested on Sunday as the brain behind the attack. Headlines Today gets you this report.
It's been 24 hours since Mumbai was shocked by the brutal murder of an NRI businessman in broad daylight. But the murder mystery has gotten murkier. In a stunning development, a former encounter specialist has been arrested by the Mumbai police. Samuel Amolik, a President's Medal winner, has now been remanded to 5-day custody. Amolik was allegedly in touch with both the assailants who murdered Sunil Kumar Loharia in broad daylight.
दो आदमी को गिरफ्तार किया है। एक आरोपी तो कल वेंकटेश शेट्टियार को अटक के उसका इन्वेस्टिगेशन चालू था। उसमें वो इन्वेस्टिगेशन में उन्होंने इमैनुअल अमोलिक का नाम लिया था। उसकी वजह से इमैनुअल अमोलिक को अरेस्ट किया है। वो रिटायर्ड इंस्पेक्टर है, वो पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट में।
And his arrest has sent shockwaves across the police fraternity.
An inquiry should be done how specified officers keep on being posted in crime branch for long periods. They are never transferred out in violation of the law, and this accountability has to be bestowed on senior police officers as to why they did not follow the transfer law. And I think if such set of measures are put in, the unfortunate incident that has happened here, where a retired cop is found to be involved in underworld activities, these won't happen.
Amolik's arrest follows that of Venkatesh Shettar and Wahid Qureshi, the two men who attacked Loharia in broad daylight and murdered him. Loharia's family continues to demand justice, claiming that he was targeted because he was a whistleblower.
मेरे डैड ने आज से 6 महीने पहले एफएसएस स्कैम खोला था। उन्होंने उसमें आरटीआई में बहुत लोग नाम उसमें वायलेशन जिन्होंने की थी उनका काफी नाम आया था। वो कंटिन्यू उन्हें 3 महीने से थ्रेट्स दे रहे थे कि हम आपको जान से मार देंगे। हमने पुलिस को भी बहुत बार लेटर लिखा कि हमें जान का खतरा है, लेकिन हमें कोई प्रोटेक्शन नहीं मिली।
The arrest of Emmanuel Amolik throws up more questions than answers. What was Emmanuel's exact motive in murdering the builder? Isn't it shocking that a former encounter specialist is employing those very people that he was supposed to have fought against? Isn't it even more tragic that a gallantry award-winning police officer is now accused of a gruesome murder? With Nilesh Patil and Rajesh Kumar in Navi Mumbai, Vidya for Headlines Today.
Well, with the pertinent questions that she has raised on this entire issue, she's in fact now joining us live from Mumbai. Will you just talk us through the details of this case? We're talking about important arrests that have been made so far, but it obviously raises a whole lot of questions. And the fact remains that somebody who was supposed to be out there protecting these very people, the citizens, he might be a former cop, but engaging in acts as violent as this.
Well, indulgence of encounter specialists, as we have come to know in the last many decades that they have been operating in Mumbai, of them with the underworld, there have been many allegations. In fact, if you remember, there have been many cases where former encounter specialists have in fact been arrested in different cases in connection with the underworld. And in fact, that's the reason, there have been pointed fingers that have been for the last many years against these encounter specialists. And probably, as the Navi Mumbai police has been saying, this could also be a case where the underworld was employed, used by Emmanuel to actually, for this entire shootout. In fact, at this moment, the Navi Mumbai police has been cracking this entire case. They have picked up a lot of people, from Mumra, as the third accused was arrested by evening. Later in the evening, we got to know that two more people whose cars were used in this entire incident, they were picked up. Not really shown as arrested as of now. There have been a few businessmen from Navi Mumbai area itself against whom the family has been making allegations that they could be involved. They have been called for questioning. So certainly Mumbai police is really cracking down on this entire and probably might come up with the real reason behind this entire murder in a couple of days.
Well, that's the key question. What exactly was the motive in Amolik coming out and in fact being involved in this entire case. Let's get in former IPS officer YP Singh, who's also now joining us on the special broadcast here on Headlines today. Mr. YP Singh, always a pleasure to talk to you. You know, you have been speaking about the kind of loopholes that exist. You know, today we perhaps would not have been talking about a case like this if those loopholes that you have been raising a hue and cry about were put into effect and put into place.
Yes, certainly, because what has happened has been enormously unfortunate. Because for one, the gangster activities is getting enhanced in a big way in Navi Mumbai. And secondly, what is very, very disturbing to note, that an ex-police officer is involved in the entire thing. And the way he was suspended earlier and thereafter reinstated, this I think unfolds an enormous story. And the more one delves deep into it, I think it certainly opened a big can of worms.
But where is that glaring loophole, sir? We're talking about a former cop, a president's awardee, all this put together. Why would he even come forward and be involved in an incident like this? Because like you're telling us, this is not the first incident of its kind that we are talking about here. And it is a disturbing trend, to speak the way least.
In fact, there's a joke goes around which in the police circles is that if you want to know the integrity of the person, try to evaluate the accomplishments he has. And many a time a person who has got a high level presidential medal, we know that he has got it through the process of manipulation. And many a time we say he should be kept in a watch list. So I think what has happened is really unfortunate. What is really happening is that earlier this person was involved in involved with the underworld charge, and thereafter he developed contacts. He was dismissed later, again reinstated. How he got reinstated
Exactly.
when one knew that he had very dubious credentials. So this certainly shows that how the administration, right from top to down, bottom, they are in nexus and they go hand in hand.
Important aspect of the story that you're bringing out, Mr. YP Singh. You know, I'm going to come back to you in just a bit, but let's also speak to the family. In fact, let's get in the son of the victim himself. Sunny Loharia is now joining us on the show. Sunny, we understand it's a traumatizing time for you and your family. We appreciate the fact that you've taken time out to be a part of this show and share with us what exactly you and your family are going through at this point in time. Sunny, if I'm correct, you had demanded that you would not cremate your father till all the accused had been arrested. Now, with key developments coming forward, the alleged kingpin having been put behind bars, are you satisfied to some degree at least?
I don't feel satisfied now. The doctors came to my house. He told me if you keep the body for just more than 5 hours, it will start stinking and your dad's body will be completely destroyed. And for that reason, I have to do all this. And Navi Mumbai police has arrested Amolik, who was the ex-Mumbai crime branch officer. Mr. Amolik was used to work for Suresh Bijlani, whom names are already mentioned in FIR, Suresh Bijlani, Anurag Garg. And my dad was having previous grievances with Anurag Garg and Suresh Bijlani. The case is all clear that Suresh Bijlani has given Supari to Amolik and Amolik has hired the killers to kill my dad. But today, right now, I just an hour before, Sarasa is giving a statement that Amolik is, they are saying that he was throwing a cigarette on the road. My dad and he started fighting like in January, December, and that's why he hired a killer to shoot him. Can you digest this truth? No one in the world can digest this truth that someone has hired a shooter to kill someone because he was throwing a cigarettes on the road. At least Navi Mumbai police should have the sense that what they are speaking. At least they should realize what they are saying. I have lost my dad. My family is finished, and they are saying it's a closed case. Amolik, there was a grievances between Amolik and Sunil Kumar. It's a clear. I'm not blaming that Anurag Garg and Suresh Bijlani has done murder on my dad. I'm just telling them, my dad, while going, he has told me, Sunny, Suresh Bijlani and Anurag Garg is doing all this. Please, he has murdered me. I'm just telling the police to interrogate them. It's a clear thing. My dad has opened a FSI scam 6 months before, and it was the scam is worth more than 1200 crores rupees. And when this the Anurag Garg is the architect who is involved in the FSI violation in more than 70% of the building. Anurag Garg and Suresh Bijlani are close friends, and Amolik is used to work for Suresh Bijlani for more than 15 years. The case is pretty much clear. At least they should interrogate Suresh Bijlani, Anurag Garg. They should know what is happening. How can they say the case is closed just because he was throwing cigarette on the road? He has hired a shooter. Can you digest this truth? You are the media. You see 1,000 cases in a day. Can you digest this?
Well, Sunny, obviously you have your apprehensions, you have your reservations that you're sharing with us, sharing with us here, in fact, on Headlines today. Mr. Singh, let me bring you in on this. You've heard what Sunny has to share with us here on Headlines today. The fact remains we're talking about a former cop who was suspended from duty for allegedly having links with the underworld. Why weren't stringent steps taken itself at that point in time to nip this problem in the bud itself?
I think once they got to know that this person is of dubious credentials, there are very clear departmental instructions to ensure that such person should be kept out of the loop. Such people should be posted to non-sensitive places. But instead of doing that, he was reinstated in service. And when one gets to know that he is involved with underworld, the right course is to file a criminal case against the suspect person, but this also was not done. So I think what really happens is that many a time an administration has to, maybe for reason of expediency, to ensure that law and order is done, and also perhaps for the reason of the nexus of corruption which exists, that the hierarchy has to protect such an officer, and it is just a result of protection by the hierarchy of such an officer that this avoidable thing could has indeed happened.
Mr. YP Singh, many thanks for having joined us on the show this evening with your perspective, with the kind of work that you've put out in this field yourself. Let me go back to Sunny, who's obviously reeling through the impact of what his family has just suffered with the passing away of his father, with his father having been shot at in the manner in which he was. In fact, visuals that you're seeing on your television screens. Sunny, what motives do you feel Amolik actually had in wanting to come out and murder your father in the first place?
We don't know Amolik. My dad doesn't know. I have always been with my dad 24 hours. We don't know Amolik. Just because my dad has opened a big FSI violation scam and Anurag Garg was a main violation. He was the main hurdle. Means by doing all this, he was the main mastermind behind it. Anurag Garg was feeling insecure that his career will be finished as all the wrong deeds are being opened. So he told his friend Suresh Bijlani, and Suresh Bijlani, the 15 years Amolik is working with Suresh Bijlani, he has hired shooters to kill my dad. My dad was getting continuously threat. We have informed Navi Mumbai police 35 to 40 times that we are getting threats. Even on Friday, me and my dad was discussing that he told me, Sunny, I'm getting continuous threat that they will kill me. With the my matter was after 2 weeks in the High Court. In the Monday, we have already put in the letter on record that please we want to High Court to look into the matter on Monday as we are getting the live threat, and the letter is on record. I have to put this, and before that, my dad is being killed on Saturday.